Okay, well, in their race to put these stupid ass ugly lights on here, they stripped this nut so it's not backing off. These are not really tight. I was able to get the driver's side one out, but when I went to thread it back in, it's loose and now it won't come back out. So yeah, they stripped the whole nut. So I really hate, I hate stupid people. So they torqued that down because it wasn't the right type of bracket. This is a tapered bolt. They torqued it down and then stripped it. So I'm gonna go ahead and get rid of that light bar as well. I have to pull, it looks like I have to pull this apart here because they ran the wire behind the plastic edge trim for the door. So I'm gonna have to take that apart so I can get this upper light out of here as well. So I got the edge plastic out of the way so that I could get this out of there. What they did was they took the corner light, and I'm sure it's something similar on the other side, but they just cut into the wiring from the upper light, wrapped a piece of tape around it, and then wrapped the wire in, and then just wrapped a piece of tape. So it was just sitting behind here. The one piece of wire, you can see how corroded those are. They were exposed to the elements and the rain. Again, I don't understand why people take shortcuts. Here's another tape blob. I'm sure the same shit's underneath. They just wrapped it. They didn't put no heat shrink tubing or any sort of like dielectric grease or anything to keep the wires from corroding. I mean, it's a Jeep. If you're going to play with it, you're going to get water in it. You're going to have problems. So the better, yeah, it's just wrapped around there, not even soldered or nothing, and you can see it started to corrode. So that's all going to come out. We're going to start wiring from scratch when we're done. So we're not going to do this shit again. So yeah, they just kind of fucked all that shit up. And this casing is all cut and torn. It's probably there's a screw hole right there that goes right into the okay, well, that's fine. So we got the arm out of the way. We just need to unbolt this one as well. It looks like somebody boogered up that bolt, so maybe I can get some new bolts while I'm at it. Then I'll take this one out, the bottom one, not the two uppers. I still gotta do the other side. So yeah, we're gonna go ahead and get this wiring out of here so we can get this upper light bar off as well. All right, so that's the second batch of wiring I pulled out. There's some more wiring over there for the other light, but I pulled out all that wiring for the speaker system that was in here. So that's all been pulled. So now we should be pretty much all the way back down to factory. I think there's a few wires like this ground that I just cut that was for the light. I think there's one or two other grounds that I saw that are cut that are just hanging. I think I got one right over there. I don't know if you can see it, but yeah, so there's that one as well. So yeah, so my question is how I'm going to get to the back side of these two nuts so I can get these bottom bolts out of here, because this one will not go in any farther or come out, and the other one won't come out at all. But for what I'm going to do next, I don't really care. So the next part is I'm going to set the hood down so I can get those 4 bolts out of the upper. Oops, shit, can't close the door with that down. All right, so yeah, we're gonna close the hood and then we'll get these 4 out of here so we can get that light bar out of the way, and then I can finish getting the upper part of the bar out so we can change the gasket maybe today. Well, I got a little lucky on the driver's side. I was able, because it was sticking out far enough, I was able to put the claw part of the hammer behind the head, and using the air ratchet I was able to get it to come out. Yeah, as you can see, the wind's picking up. That's what's banging around. So hopefully I might be able to do something similar on the other side. Maybe apply enough pressure while using the air ratchet to spin it out. I don't know if it's just stripped. Trying to look at that to see if it's just stripped or if it's stripped inside there. Not really sure what's going on with that. I might have to run a tap back in there and see if that comes out. I don't want to get a tap stuck in there because that would suck even more. So let's try to get the other one out. Well, I got extremely lucky. So passenger side, what I ended up doing is putting the claw part of the hammer on the bracket and just kind of giving it a twist, and using the air ratchet was able to get enough speed to get it to spin out. But you can see the end of that is all juggered up, and if you look inside there, there's no bolt or nut threaded part in there, so that has fallen down inside somewhere. I think I can see inside. Maybe that's something I can reach up from on the inside and fix. I don't know. I may just leave that hole open and just get a rubber plug to sit in there until I can figure it out, just so we don't get extra water dripping in there. But I may have to take this whole bracket off to get behind there and see what's there and what's damaged. That kind of sucks, but at least it's out. I'd rather have it out than stuck in there where if I did need it, I couldn't get it out. But see, I can still see the threads on the driver's side, so we'll figure that out. But I mean, there's already 3 and 3, and so we're good. We just need to get this off so we can get this window to lay down. Okay, now back onto the window, or to the light. All right, so I got some 2-inch self-tapping screws out on the driver's side here. That's what's holding that up. I will be putting this up on the other rack here as soon as I get the new rack in. It'll be the cage for the Jeep, so I'm not going to mount this crap to the windshield. Mount it up as high as I can. Well, I will say that their funky bracket is tight because I have all the screws out of it and it's still in place. But yeah, it will definitely not be going back where it's at. Okay, and just like that, the light bar is off. One thing I noticed is apparently these must be like cheaper light bars, because let's see where the hell that's open. Whacked in the head with that. It might be hard to tell how frosted over the plastic glass is. On the main light bar, from the heat, it's all cracked. So I'm assuming that it's just because it's cheap plastic. Oops, I gotta put that thing back up. All right, so that's step 1. Now we need to undo the bolts on the top for roll bar to windshield, and then the one bottom one, and I should be able to lay this windshield down. That's the theory. All right, so I got the roll bar to window frame off. I also took out the sun visors because my sun visors look like that. So I figured since I was out here with the tools, I might as well go ahead and pull those. I'll probably end up replacing them. And I have the one on the passenger side completely out. This is a T45. Those were T40s and those were T20s. So yeah. Now, if I did everything correctly, the window should fold down. I will use both hands so I don't drop it. I know the window's broke, but who cares? Okay, well, it came right down, and that is a lot of rust. So, hopefully it's nothing important. The gasket is right here on the top. It's pretty much destroyed. So we'll go ahead and get all the rust and dirt and crap that's needs to be cleaned up out of there, and then we'll go ahead and get all the dirt and shit out of the motor. I'll have to bring my vac out, but it looks like We've had a leak here for a while. I'm thinking that this rust is just the metal dash part. Can be replaced. I don't know. I'll look around, see if I can find one on sale cheap someplace. I might swap it out if it's not an inexpensive part. Then I will probably have to leave it for now and just be aware of it for down the road. We will have to see, but yeah, we'll have to get all that out of there because there's just, this rust is everywhere. That's a piece of metal. So, yucky. All right, well, quick little test fit. Sits on there. It's crooked because I pushed this side too far back, but you can see how much crap is sticking out of that hole. So I'm gonna have to clean that up before I can even run the tap in it to clean it up. But this side is correct. This is about where the bumper is gonna sit. This side's too far back. It needs to come this way some. But yeah, and then the bar. So yeah, it doesn't look too bad. Could run it with or without the bar. All right, I'm gonna take a quick break, wait for the wife to get back, and then I'll probably drag out my shop vac and get this cleaned up, get the old gasket off. I think it's screwed on. Yeah, there's some screws in there, so I'll have to get in there with the screwdriver. I'll clean out the windshield wiper track and get that all lubed up. But it looks like it's mostly the center, about where my leak was. So if nothing else, maybe I'll run some silicone. I'll get all this rust out of here and we'll get all that taken care of. And then if I can't find a cheap dash, then I'll run some silicone in there just to keep it from leaking any further. We'll have to see. Well, I started vacuuming, and as you can see, there's not a lot left of the dash metal panel there. It looks like one screw is here. What's left of a screw is right there. It looks like it's pretty cheesed up. So I guess I'm going to end up pulling the dash apart. I got this side vacuumed up. I'm going to get over on the other side here real quick. Vacuum that up. I've been looking on Marketplace and Craigslist, a couple other places, eBay. The cheapest I found for just the metal panel, about 150 bucks with free shipping. Everybody who's got the metal panel who's selling them used on Market is selling the complete dash and wants $350 for it, and I'm not going to pay that kind of money for that. But we're rusted all the way to the last hole, so this has just been leaking forever and a day. And so we're going to go ahead and get all that rust out of there, and then we'll see about, I guess I'm gonna have to start disassembling the dash. It was not where I wanted to be, but I want to get that fixed because I definitely don't want it. I thought once I vacuumed it up it would be okay enough to like patch, but put a steel strap down and then seal it on both sides, but looks like that not going to happen. So yep, so out comes the dash. We want to get it fixed so that it isn't rusting. It explains now why I was finding rust on the floor after I had cleaned everything. So all right, well, let me get the vacuum going and get the rest of this out of here. Okay, I've got this side vacuumed out. I even vacuumed out the inside of the windshield wiper track. So far it doesn't look like the window is in too bad a shape. I'm not seeing any rust. Looks like all the screws look like they're in good shape, but definitely the dash section is pretty uglied. I got most of the loose stuff out when I vacuumed, so definitely gonna have to pull the dash pad off, get the dash out, get that all cleaned up. So that's gonna be next. I guess instead of putting things back together, we're taking more things apart. So out comes the dash pad. Luckily I didn't put all the dash back together when I was working on it, so it's mostly just about out. I have found a metal dash on eBay for 150 bucks, free shipping, so I think that's the one I'm gonna go with. Trying to see what else I need to pull out of there. Yep, looks like that's where we're at. We're just gonna pull it out and order the new parts. Hopefully I can get them here in the next few days. All right, so I'm trying to get the dash pad out. I got all these screws. I know you can't see. I got all the screws out. Those are just stuck into the plastic here, so we're not going to be able to get that. I'm working on getting the 2 screws out on this side. I got to get the 2 screws out on this side, and then I can get the glove compartment area out. There's a little bit of room for me to get my hand in there, so I've got one of the bolts out and one of them almost out on this side. Haven't started on this side, so that's going to be my next thing. So yeah, this is turning into a little bit of a project, but I did go ahead and put a bid in on the dash panel, so I'm trying to strip this down so that I can get everything ready. Oh shit, I didn't put that screw. I think I left that out for a reason. I can't remember. So I got to pull the dash back apart so I can get this all out of here. I don't know how. I hope this unplugs fairly easy. We will see, but everything else should come out pretty simply. So let me get these last 3 screws out of this, and then I think there's another couple of screws like this behind here, and then this dash pad should come out and I should be able to see more of what's going on. All right, so I got the dash and the grab bar out, and what it took was a 3/8 drive with a number 2, and I was able to get to the 4 holes that hold the grab bar without doing too much. I was just able to reach up inside there. It took a little bit of finessing, but it did come out. So I just now got to pull these 2 screws here and the one that's up here that it might be rusted. So I'm gonna try to get these 2 out. But yeah, the pad is loose and we are dropping rust everywhere now. So okay, let me move on to that real quick. All right, so a little bit of wiggling and the dash fell, and now we can see the real problem. Yup. Well, that's shot. So let me get this dash pad out of the way and see what we're working with. All right, well, we are definitely got some rust up in there. All right, so it looks like, so all I did right now is pull the dash pad off. So the next thing will be to start working. I might have to take the steering column apart, or at least the steering wheel. I'm gonna pull my gauges back out, get all the wires out, and then unbolt the dash. Hopefully I can slip it off over the stock and whatnot. I think I can. It looks like there's plenty of room. The biggest question is getting the heater controls out of there without having to completely disassemble them, but we will see. But yeah, there was a lot of loose rust up there. Let's go around the other side and see if it's any better. It's not, trust me. It's all bad at this point. So yeah, so it looks like I'll be able to clean up the firewall side. I'll hit it with a grinder and put some anti-rust stuff down. That should stop everything. We'll get it nice and cleaned up, and then hopefully when we go to put it back together, life will be good. We did lose at least 1, possibly 2 screws, so we're gonna have to figure out how to get those out and get them cleaned up. The window frame, they're all kind of white. I'm hoping that's not like indication that they're rusted off and we're going to break them. I think they should look like this one right there, but they're white like that one. So good question. Okay, well, that was a lot of fun. Not So yeah, if you have rain and it leaks all over your floor, then there's a good chance that you're either looking at a bad gasket or a whole lot of rust. So that's where we're at. Okay, so actually I'm getting tired. So I think I'm gonna call this today. A little disheartening finding more than I was hoping for. But that does explain why I was seeing all this rust down in here when I was taking things apart, and this little window here had rust in it. So it does explain a lot. And look, there's a giant mud ball right there in the heater vent. Whew. Okay, well, let me clean up these tools a bit and we're gonna call it a day. Thanks for watching.